Hey everyone, I hope you are having a great day. I wanted to do a quick check-in to share with you how this new forward test is going. And again, this is a whole new system that I put together, a new algorithm, which uses Renko bricks instead of candles, and is what I'm calling a no-nonsense Forex quote-unquote evolved system. Now, if you didn't see my previous video, please go back and check that out before moving on, because that really explains all the details of how I have set up this new system. And I'm afraid that if we just jump in and you haven't seen that other video yet, you might be a little lost, and I don't want that. So make sure you check out that video first. But before we jump into those results that we're seeing, I want to share with you a broad overview of the expert advisor that I have created to actually run this forward test. So here is the FX Dreama website. Now, I will be the first to admit, I am no coder. I do not know code. I have simply been trying to educate myself by trial and error and learning new things. I have been loving this particular website, though. This website makes it easy for the layperson like myself to be able to put in the parameters that I want and actually have the code produced for me. So I will also mention that one of the biggest drawbacks of using Renko charts is that you do not know when they are going to be printed and when they are going to move, because they're not time-based. So having an EA or an expert advisor watch the trades, watch the price movement, and open and close the trades for you is very, very helpful. However, there's risk with that, because can you really take your hands off the wheel, so to speak, and put your trust into an expert advisor? And one of the best pieces of information I think I heard at one point was, never trust an expert advisor that somebody else built. You need to make sure you understand that expert advisor, how it's working, so that you can have that confidence. So just quickly, this is not meant to be an FX Dreama video by any means, but I just wanted you to kind of see how you set up these different blocks or conditions so that it'll run your trade. For instance, this is the entry. I have two sides. I have an entry for a buy trade, and I have an entry for a sell trade. And for each entry, I'm actually taking two trades, one with that first take profit of 3 times our Renko brick size, and the other one, which I call a buy runner, and that is the one that has no take profit identified. And we rely strictly on our exit indicators. And over here, you can see where the exits are set up. So for instance, if I'm in a sell trade, if I have a C1 flip, then I'm going to sell, I'm going to close those trades. Or if I have a certain number of bulls in a row, which right now I'm using 3, I'm going to close those trades, and vice versa for a buy trade. If we go to the on trade tab, this is where I have my break even set up. So anytime a trade is closed, then it's going to move to break even. And this section right here is so that I can document on the screen when a trade closes. If it's in profit, I want it to put a green X, and I want it to draw the text of that profit. If it's not in profit, then I want it to draw a red X and indicate the loss of the trade. And finally, on timer, I have a weekday filter so that at the end of the trading day, every single Friday, it will close all the trades. I know this is a whirlwind overview, and there's a lot to unpack, but I just wanted to show you what I've been using and how I've been putting it together to actually run the trades for me in this forward test. The other thing I'm doing a little bit differently with this forward test, because I'm trying to keep a close eye on how well the expert advisor works, I'm only testing 5 pairs. So that's why you will only see 5 pairs here. Moving forward, when I start to really enhance this forward test, I'll open it up to all the different pairs. So this first pair is AudiCAD. So this is, remember, this is indicating where the week began. Okay, and so then now it's just looking again for an alignment of all of our factors. So here we can see that the brick opened below. We have a C1 red, but it looks like we didn't have enough volume. Now what's interesting here is on this brick, okay, it looks like everything is meeting the criteria. Okay, it opened below, our C1 is red, and it looks like our volume signal line is below the red line. However, what you'll notice is one candle back is where I have this printing or drawing the text. The spread was 18 for this candle. And I actually have in my EA a spread filter so that anything over 5 pips, it will not open. So then we see the next I almost said candle. The next brick here has opened below, and we have red, and we have enough volume, and our spread is under 5. So in that case, at the end of this, at the end of this brick, we're going to open our trade. So that's what we did. As you can see, it followed down. It went 10, 20, 30, and it closed the trade. And this is our green X that I talked about, is signifying that the trade is closed, and we have our green profit above. That has been drawn on the chart for us by the EA, and that says 23.88. You can also see that our stop loss has been moved to just above our opening, so that's break even. And we are currently still in this trade with our runner. You can see over here that we're about 27 pips in profit. But we're hoping that this actually will turn around and continue down. Now, if this were to print a third bull candle, bull brick, which are these blue colors, then my EA will close the trade. If not, it's going to continue to follow it down until it gets a valid signal. So this one's looking good. Let's take a look at Great Britain Audi. Okay, so actually we've got quite a little bit of, look at all the movement that we've had on this pair. So this is where our week started. Okay, and so if we look at these, okay, we can see that we have several that have opened above, but if you look down, you see that our C1 is not in agreement and we don't have enough volume. Okay, so there's another one that's opened above, not enough volume, open above, not enough volume, open above, not enough volume. It's not until we get to this brick where it's opened above the blue line, we have a green C1 and we have enough volume. And you'll notice from this little orchid colored number, that is our spread at the time is 202, so everything is a go. So at the close of this brick, we open our trade. Now, unfortunately, this one didn't go in our favor. As you can see, it started to go up. It went 5, 10, but then it turned around and started to come down, and we closed it on the bottom of this brick because, as you see, our C1 flipped. So that what got us out of that trade. So now we're continuing down, which we're going to ignore because we're above our baseline highway. And then we start to get into that highway. Notice all of these are occurring within our baseline highway, so to speak, so we're going to stay out of that. That's all danger zone. All through here. It's not until here that we have an upward candle, a bullish brick that opens outside. We do have C1, and we do have enough volume. But if you notice, right here, you can see that, and this is back one brick, our spread was 5, so it may not have opened. This one is the same thing. Everything's in alignment, but our spread was 5. Now, this is a little confusing to me, so this is why I like sharing with you guys, all you smart people out there. Maybe together we can figure out why sometimes things work and they don't. So here we have another situation. For this brick, it opened, looks like it opened just outside of that channel. We have a green for our C1. Now this one, if I was looking at this just manually, I probably wouldn't have taken it because it doesn't look like it's crossed. But according to the EA, which of course has very, very detailed monitoring, it did cross. So it opened for us. Now here's the confusing part. This shows 5 as well. So I'm not sure why it opened here, but it didn't open on these other ones because it's showing the same spread. But I don't know. That's one of the things I'm testing. So if you all have any ideas, let me know. So we went in at the top here. Unfortunately, right away, we had a flip of our C1 and we came out. So then we went back into our highway, and here you can see now we've come out. Again, we have a bare brick that opened outside of the channel. We have a corresponding C1, and we have enough volume. So we went in there at the bottom of that brick, and you can see that it started to go down. Okay, 1, 2, and it looks like it went down 3, but it must not have hit exactly those 30 pips, or it would have taken the first take profit. It probably just missed it. And then coming back up, we have a flip of our C1 here, so we came out. Came out a little bit under our break even, about 1.58. All right, how about Great Britain USD? Okay, so here we are in the danger zone, so we're not going to be doing anything with that. Finally, we have an opening below. We have an agreement with our C1, and we have enough volume. So we go in there at the bottom of that brick. So we have 10, 20, 30. Okay, and at this point, and maybe it just missed it there, but it came back up and rolled over. When it hit the 30 pips, that's when it took the first take profit. You can see there 30, and it moved our stop loss to break even. So we are still in this trade as well. We're currently, well, it's all the way over there on the side, but we're currently just about 14 pips in profit. And we will let that second one run again until we get a valid exit signal. And finally, I'm following USD CAD. So this is the beginning of our week. Okay, so we were coming along. Here was an open. Let me go get my crosshairs. This one opened below. It had a valid C1, but as you can see, it did not have enough volume. So all of these here did not have enough volume. It wasn't until this one where it opened, we had congruence with our C1 indicator, and you can see that volume was just crossing the line. So at the bottom of that brick we opened, unfortunately it went turned around and went right back against us. And so when we had the C1 flip down here, we came out of that trade. So that one was a little bit of a loss. That was 18.82. And of course, that's times 2 because those were 2 trades. So now we come over here. After we get back out of that danger zone, out of the highway, we now have a bull brick that opened outside of the channel. We have congruence with our C1, and we have enough volume. So we went in at the top of that brick. We went up, but then unfortunately we turned around and started coming down again. So currently we are in the hole, and boy, we're in the hole just about 48 pips. So we are pretty close, I think, to stopping out. And you also see that this current brick is showing right now a red indication. So if this current brick completes with this still being red, then that is when we will get out of the trade. All right, so there you go. So currently, let's see, and I'm actually out of the money right now, about $24. When I was getting ready to set up to do this video, I was in the money about $40. So things can change quickly. But what's good is it looks like my EA is functioning well. There's a couple things I still have questions about. But I'm happy to share this with you as I go through this new journey, and I appreciate any of your comments and suggestions along the way. So with that, take care, and I hope your trading is going really well.